Joe Nachim, Ohio, Joe Shanghao, Sawat Ditan Chow, Magandang Umaga. Different languages but only mean one thing. Good morning. We may be in different circumstances, but all of us aim to be well. Today is another blessing for you to be thankful as you take another step toward academic growth, particularly in learning the English language. I am glad seeing the comment section overwhelmed by your names and greetings. Hello everyone! Welcome back to another session of English 8 live streaming lesson. It is nice to be with you again. Did you know that stretching in the morning is a gentle way to kickstart your day? Studies suggest that it could help you relax, reduce lower back pain, and condition your mind to help you focus on your tasks. By doing this, you can easily manage to stay active until the end of our discussion. We also expect that you have accomplished the activities from the previous lesson. I think you already know the hassle of keeping your works undone. Please remember that time is an asset. Don't let it go to waste. You got it? Let us help and support one another with the hashtag. No matter what the situation is, education must continue. This session will be revolving around on these most essential learning competencies. Well, these are the specific objectives that you are expected to learn after going through our lesson. This time, the main goal is for you to comprehensively understand our previous topic. I hope it isn't too early for you to be forgetful. I will ascertain that when we get started. Still, for today's discussion, we will use the strategic, localized, and interactive instructional material about compare and contrast own opinion with those presented in familiar text, prepared by Ma'am Carolina A. Kudal from Polo National High School. Before going any further, let us recall our learning principles. Listen, note, and learn. Listen attentively and pay attention throughout the discussion. Note the important details. Learn something new, and together, we learn as one. Always remember, listen, note, and learn. Oh, don't forget a glass of water to keep you hydrated and a handful of snacks to keep you company. Previously in your live streaming lesson, we discussed about comparing and contrasting own opinions with those presented in familiar text. Again, the main difference between compare and contrast is that compare looks at both similarities and differences, whereas contrast only looks at the differences. Here is the list of words categorized based on their usage in a sentence. Now, I want you to use them to fill up the blanks where they correspond. To do so, just tap the reaction icon to answer. Prove me that you are ready for a step forward. If you got a perfect score, let me congratulate you. And to those who did not, there's always a room for improvement. Moreover, this is just a warm-up before moving into a more complex one. But first, I will present your opinions about #CancelKorea issue. These are your own opinions I have taken in the comment section.
My opinion on Korea and Philippines or the #CancelKorea is I don't agree because Bella Porch and other Filipinos did not know the meaning of the tattoo and do not cancel Korea immediately even if it is wrong. Educate only the mistakes, but Koreans need to apologize because of the bad words they said to Filipinos.
To my way of thinking about the issue of Korea and Philippines, the #CancelKorea is not that a big deal to debate for, but because of some Koreans and Filipinos that are so toxic, they made the situation worse. Let's say we Filipinos didn't know about the history of them and they Koreans misunderstood the situation, and for some instances we also did something wrong where they cannot accept an apology. And also, in my point of view, it is better for the both country if some people did not overreact about the issue, so there's no need to hate and hurt each other's country and people. Basically, I disagree about the #CancelKorea because I can't just generalize them as one that hate Filipinos. They are all different, and I'm sure there are still some Koreans that understand the issue and respect us Filipinos and our country, Philippines.
I think, as Filipinos, almost all of us do not know the history of Korea. But they insulted us, and that's the wrong of Koreans. I know their country is better than the Philippines, but it is wrong to call us poor and uneducated, and that is way too rude. I know what makes them angry. Hopefully, they will learn to forgive and accept apologies. I still like Korea, but the thing I didn't like was insulting and trampling our country. So, I think it just a misunderstanding between Philippines and Korea.
Based on your opinions, there are some in favor of #CancelKorea movement, while others disagreed. Well, I can blame some of you who are into agreeing with the movement, since we can't contain the feeling of disappointment towards Koreans for they have wronged us. However, I also take the point of those who disagreed because generalizing them mean that we are no different from those few Koreans who insulted us and humiliated our country. Again, don't lower yourself to the level of others' boorishness. I am not siding to anyone, for I am leading you to meet halfway about this issue, which is already in the past anyway. As one of your mentors, I am delighted to witness your gutsiness in willingly taking part of this exchange of views. Kudos to you, language learners. Moving on, the video you have watched in the previous lesson is an example of multimodal text. By learning how to analyze multimodal text, you gained access to a more complex way to read all the text you encounter. That is exactly the point why it is prerequisite to get a better grasp of best practice. How to become reasonable, differentiate comparison and contrast, and determine the issue and stand presented in the familiar text. Let's start with getting a better grasp of this practice. Aside from being respectful by acknowledging someone else's viewpoint, you have to be aware of propaganda techniques, self-serving or deceptive techniques. Propaganda is more or less systematic effort to manipulate other people's beliefs, attitudes, or actions by means of symbols like words, gestures, banners, etc. I believe you are already familiar with testimonial, bandwagon, and stereotyping. This time there are two additions. First is emotional appeal, and the one you have mentioned in the Q&A, which is transfer. An emotional appeal is used to sway the emotions of an audience to make them support the speaker's argument. Advertising messages, usually based on imagery rather than information, which attempt to achieve the advertiser's objectives by evoking strong emotions and feelings like fear, anger, passion, etc., rather than by a rational appeal. Do you agree that our emotion is the vulnerable part of our being? When you hear these lines like, "Just lean on me. I've been there before. I feel the same way too. I'm always here for you. I love you." Can you think of another line? When you hear these lines from someone, what will you feel? Probably you will feel that you are loved. Someone is taking care of you, and the feeling that you are not alone. These are just few lines commonly used to sway someone's heart. You may not show it through your reactions, but you are undeniably affected deep inside, even just a pinch of it. This is the reason why your heart decides more than your mind. Your rational thinking is clouded when you are being emotional. This propaganda technique is not limited to words. It can also be in the form of images or any art form. That's why we can see these kinds of commercials with stories that will make us emotional and catch our attention. Not only in commercials and that advertise product or service, but also common in political campaigns. How about transfer? Transfer involves projecting the positive or negative qualities of one person, entity, object, or value onto another to make the second more acceptable or to discredit it. Commonly used are country's flag in political campaign posters to show patriotism or love for country. Rosary and cross are used to transfer religious prestige, and the eagle as a symbol conveys good leadership. The prestige of a school can also be transferred by wearing the uniform with its logo. That's how transfer works as a propaganda. If you can still remember, the tattoo on Bella's arm, which is the Japanese rising flag, have negative reputation, for it was used by the Imperial Japanese Army before and during World War II, and was often used in areas where the Japanese invaded and occupied, including Korea. Some of her haters probably used this to spark an argument. Having this symbol tattooed on her made an impression that she hates Koreans even though it was unintentional. Before we proceed, I want you to take this challenge. Identify the propaganda technique in the given familiar text.
To apply your learnings about the propaganda techniques, let's try this activity. For each item, you will be given 10 seconds to choose the correct answer. Here is the first picture. Your timer starts now. Time's up. Let's see if you got the correct answer. For number 1, the answer is emotional appeal. It is clearly seen here that it uses the manipulation of the emotions. This campaign aims to give awareness about animal abuse. It uses words and pictures that really capture our heart. For number 2, the answer is bandwagon. We all know that Apple is one of the known mobile brands in the world. This ad shows that a lot of people are loving it, not only because of its design, but also the features that it could give you. It encourages you to join the band and experience its promising quality you could ever get like everybody else. In number 3, if your answer is testimonial, you got it right. In this ad, they used Chris Aquino's testimony about her experience in the product Nescafe iced coffee. At the same time, Chris Aquino is a known celebrity, so seeing a person like her giving her good experience to the mentioned product will persuade people to buy it also. In number 4, if you click the like button, another point for you, because the propaganda technique used here is transfer. But first, who do you think is the person in the picture? Can you recognize him? Correct. He is Albert Einstein. He is a well-known theoretical physicist. Also, he is acknowledged as a genius person. The marketing strategy used Albert Einstein's trait to persuade buyers. This means that when you buy this product, you will be smart as Einstein, or you will feel smart like him. Down to our last picture, number 5. The answer is stereotyping. The picture shows stereotyping or name calling because Southeast Asia has been known as a third world country, which labels it as an inferior part of the world. This happens because of the poverty seen in these countries, but it doesn't represent the whole, for some of these countries are showing progress with the help of the technology and their perseverance.
Thumbs up, everyone! I am delighted to see your enthusiasm in participating. Let's keep going, shall we? Next is how reasonable people do it. Let me ask you, what is the illustration that uses circles to show relationships among things? Yes, that's right. It is called a Venn diagram. Circles that overlap have commonality, while circles that do not overlap do not share those traits. It is commonly used in your brainstorming activities, right? Now, let us use it into practice. Use the Venn diagram and choose your answers for those numbers from the pool of descriptions. Are you confident that you got it all correctly? See for yourself. Modular is less interactive, but more accessible. On the other side, online is more interactive, but less accessible. The common ground, it is a strategy for distance learning or special conditions, as in this pandemic. Type your scores in the comment section. I know, you did the job well done. Easy peasy, right? Moving down to compare and contrast differentiated. In making comparison, we consider the similarities and differences of things or ideas. Signals that can be used include like, equally, both, likewise, too, same, in the same manner, etc. On the other side, only the differences are taken into consideration when contrasting two or more ideas. Among the examples of the scores markers for this process are but, however, on the contrary, and unlike. I have given you examples earlier showing comparison and contrast. Now, it's your time to show what you've got by writing your own sentence and share it in the comment section. You can also take a screenshot of your answers and send it to your English teacher. It would be a waste if you won't flunk it, right? You have 60 seconds to construct your sentence. Your timer starts now. Time's up. I expect that you are done at this moment. Later, I will be taking screenshots of your answers. For now, we will continue on determining the issue and stand. Very important in opinion making is the understanding of the issue and the stand in an editorial, news commentary, or a viral video, statement, or event. The issue is the problem or topic for discussion, while the stand is the idea one supports or believes in. Let's have this as an example. What is the stand of this headline? White Sand Manila Bay to benefit Filipinos' mental health. Is it A. White sand? B. To benefit? C. White Sand Manila Bay? Or D. Filipinos' mental health? You got it right if your answer is letter B, to benefit. The issue in this headline is the relation of White Sand Manila Bay to Filipinos' mental health, which is said to be beneficial. This is Secretary Roque's stand about the issue. Do you agree with the headline? You can take a side or stand about the issue. But before that, try to answer this.
For our activity time, we'll be showing you different headlines, and your task is to identify what is the issue or stand in each of the item. You are given 10 seconds to answer. For item number 1, what is the stand on this headline? Curfew adjustment in Cebu City needs to further consultation. A. Curfew adjustment. B. In Cebu City. And letter C. Needs further consultations. The stand here is needs further consultations, for the local government of Cebu agrees to have further consultation of curfew adjustment, which is the issue. In item number 2, what is the issue in this headline? On Holocaust Remembrance Day, Pope warns against new nationalism. Our choices are A. Remembrance Day. B. Warns against new nationalism. And letter C. On Holocaust Remembrance. In this item, the issue is on Holocaust Remembrance Day, which is the one being talked here. For number 3, what is the issue on this headline? Philippines protests China green light for its Coast Guard to fire on foreign vessels. Our choices are A. China green light. B. Coast Guard to fire. And letter C. on foreign vessels. Again, what do you think is the issue here? Any intelligence guess? That's right! China green light is the answer here, since this is what we are talking about in the headline. Now, down to our second to the last item. What is the stand on this headline? Government agencies, legal luminaries, Senate, House must vote on charter change separately. Our choices are A. Government agencies, B. Legal luminaries, and letter C. Must vote. What would be your answer? Got it! It is letter C. Must vote, because it points out that everyone in the house must vote. For the last number 5, what is the stand on this headline? Violators of mass gathering rules should be punished, DOH says. Our choices are A. Should be punished, B. Mass gatherings, and letter C. DOH says. The answer here is amazing. It's letter A. Should be punished. This points out the position of DOH about what should be done to violators of mass gatherings.
I bet you'll be more rational when giving your opinions next time that you encounter issues on social media or confrontations in person. Just remember to have your own stand and respect someone's opinion, okay? Way to go, learners! I hope that this solidifies your understanding and skills in comparing and contrasting your own opinions with those presented in familiar text. Just keep up the good work. Thank you for watching English 8 live streaming lesson, and to our grade 8 students, have a nice day. See you in our next session. Goodbye, stay safe, and God bless.